Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Darlene A Anderson here, entrepreneur, personal and professional development consultant, author, and for many of you, your self-direction broker in the state of New York under the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. Welcome. If you are joining us for the very first time, I appreciate your watch. I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you can get all of the latest updates, share it with your networks accordingly, and provide your comments so I'll know exactly what you need and try to provide that information for you. If you are returning and you've already subscribed, well, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. I want to put a disclaimer out. I do not represent the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. The views that are shared are that of my own from experiences and positive outcomes through the community and through my clients. If you are looking to receive more information about the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, I invite you to log on to their page, which is provided in the link below. Now, I also want to state thank you. I am an entrepreneur, as I stated in the beginning. I celebrated 15 years of entrepreneurship last month, April, and we had a little celebration out in Brooklyn, New York. And many of my self-direction family members came out and just provided so much love. I appreciate you guys so very much. The weather was horrible last weekend. Every day. It was like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I was in it every single day. So if you guys hear a cough, a little something, a sneeze, I apologize in advance, right? But I weathered it as many other people did, and it touched my heart. I am so very grateful for the love that I received from a lot of my parents, my self-advocates. It was just really, really beautiful. And I am dedicated to continuously providing my heart, everything that I can, everything that I've learned along the way. That's what I'm here for. That's what this channel is here for. All right, so thank you. That said, the results are in, and you guys actually liked the first video. Many of you stated that it was informative, you got a lot out of it, and you want me to continue to provide information with the subject matter of that video. So I promise you in the upcoming weeks, we will dissect those documents that I shared in that first video. Again, if you're new to the channel, I invite you to go back and check it out, listen to it. And then also please look into the description, and you can always go back, and those bookmarks are there. Shout out to my team. I have an amazing executive assistant that makes all of this possible because I'm just a person that talks. She's the creator. She puts all of this together. So really just like giving her a round of applause for just going through it and ensuring all of the bullets are in, and you guys have all of the links that you need to reference it independently. All right, so again, to that video, I will look at how I can go back and provide more information per each document to give you a more extensive knowledge base in those documents. So look out for that in the upcoming weeks. The purpose of us being out here today, and I love the title, right? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? If you're a parent, you know what that's about when you're driving and you have to do a long distance drive and your kids are like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? How far? Are we there yet? Where are we at now? What city are we in now? What country are we in now? It's just like, it's a lot, right? So I thought about that and I said, let me come out and talk about the different stages throughout your process that you will hear you're approved for self-direction. And what exactly does that mean? More times than few, I get a call and it goes like this. Hi, I'm looking for a broker and I'm approved for self-direction. And I'm like, no, you're not. And I have to walk them through the process of exactly what that means when they possibly heard they were approved for self-direction. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Throughout your self-direction journey, you will hear approximately 4 times that you are approved for self-direction. Excuse me. What does that look like? The first time that you may hear that is someone encouraging you, instructing you, discussing about a class that they went through, or maybe somebody saying you'll need to do this, or even maybe you looking online and coming across through OPWDD, the Self-Direction Information Session. Interchangeably, I will call it a session, a workshop, a presentation. All it means is that you're doing the class through the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities to learn more about self-direction. That class has been online during the quarantine. I believe that they may be doing more in-person classes now, but I provided the link for you where you can explore independently. But that session is where you're learning about self-direction as an entity, as a program, as a waived service. That is different from the front door. The front door gives an overview of the various home and community-based programs through OPWDD, documentation you need to process to get approved for various things. CCO they provide, CCO meaning Care Coordination Organization. I speak about that in the first video as well. So OPWDD provides this overview. That's the front door is your first step to getting the services. Self-direction is independent of that. It is more detail-oriented, again, specific to self-direction. So that is the first time that you will hear that some people think that they're approved when they do the class because they will get a certification in the email in your email that you have completed the course. That does not mean that you are approved to self-direct in its entirety. But again, you've taken that session, which is needed through your journey to self-directing. The second time you may hear you've been approved for self-direction is when the CCO, the Care Coordination Organization, within that organization you have your care manager, your care coordinator. You'll hear that interchangeably. Your care manager and care coordinator, right? Again, through your Care Coordination Organization. I speak about that in the first video again. Your care manager will have to submit a request to the state, to OPWDD, asking permission to move forward in the self-direction process for you. That request is called a service request, a SARF. Okay. When you get approved for that SARF, you are still not ready to self-direct, but it's needed. So your care manager, again, will submit this request, and this request has to get approved through the state. Now, what she's asking is, or he, permission to move forward with the process, and that SARF has to be approved. That's something that's come about within the past year or so. The SARF is needed. Once the SARF is approved, then when you're working with your broker, and I spoke about this again in the previous video, I invite you to go back and listen to it, and we'll speak more about it. When you work with your broker, your care manager, and the fiscal intermediary, when we get all of that documentation that I spoke about and we submit it, we are looking to get approved for self-direction starter services. Self-direction starter services does not mean that you are approved for self-direction in its entirety. It means that you're approved for planning. And planning is a stage within itself that I will speak about in another video. But it's a good thing when you're approved for starter services, because starter services means you're well on your way. Your broker, your fiscal intermediary are officially hired to help you. And that's, again, a process in itself that we'll speak about. But when you are in starter services, you are now planning for your next budget, which is going to be a separate entity of approval. And that is your initial support budget. When you get approved for your initial support budget, we're ready to rock and roll. you now, my friend, are ready to self-direct. You are self-directing. When you get approval for that, again, initial support budget, self-direction support budget, then we are self-directing in its entirety. And we'll speak about what that means in videos to come. But there, again, those 4 stages, there will be 3 stages where you get super excited and you think that you are approved. Please know you're not. You're closer to the finish line, but you're not. So again, to repeat those 4 stages that you may hear you're approved, that is the self-direction informative session provided through OPWDD. That is the service request that your care manager submits to OPWDD, a SARF, it's called the SARF. Then you'll have your starter self-direction budget that OPWDD approves for planning with your care manager, your fiscal intermediary, and your broker. And then the final time, and the time that it really counts and matters to move forward, is when you hear that you are approved for your supportive self-direction budget. Even I get tongue-tied with this to this very day, right? So I put all of that nice for you guys in the description. I didn't do it. My amazing executive did for you guys, right? But I want you to reference that. So when you're exploring a broker, you'll know what stage you're in and you'll be able to tell them. Because they will ask you, if they're like me, they'll say, okay, you said you got approved. You got approved for what? And then you're able to explain to them what stage you're at. And that, my friend, will help you get closer to the finish line. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share with your networks, and look forward for more videos. We're gonna try to put out content at least every other week. I'm really working to get my schedule together so I can give you guys videos every week. Cross your fingers, look out, but I will not exceed 2 weeks. All right, God's willing. Take care and have an amazing week.